Well, good morning, everyone. And I do say morning, even though it's for some of us it's now afternoon. And welcome to ARIN 46, our second virtual policy meeting here. It's with regrets, of course, that we could not all be assembling in Seattle, where it would be, of course, still morning. Of course, world events have prevented that, but I'm very proud of the work by our advisory council and staff who have worked tirelessly to bring this format to you. As I mentioned, it's the second of our virtual meetings. The first one, as you know, was put on a shorter notice, and we kept to a much more simplistic form of just getting policy through. But we're hoping this one brings a lot more of the spirit and community that we've grown to enjoy at our various meetings throughout the region. So without any further ado, I'd like to welcome you all and go over a few housekeeping. So next slide, please. So for those that are new, first, welcome to ARIN. This is an open community which is represented by a large number of volunteer community leaders. My name is Paul Anderson. I'm the chair of the Board of Trustees, and listed here in attendance today are all my fellow board trustees. Your board is charged with overseeing ARIN as the organization and ensuring that we are responsive to you, the community, and ensuring that we manage the resources on behalf of the community. Next slide. But we're here, the main topic today is to talk a lot about number policy, and that is led by an amazing group of volunteers listed here, which is our advisory council, 15 member volunteer as well group that is responsible for shepherding policy through our open consensus-based and bottom-up policy process. And my thanks to all of them who put in countless hours to make these meetings a success. Moving on. We also are today joined by our NRO number councils, the Number Resource Organization number councils. These three elected and again volunteers represent you at other RIRs and at the ICANN Coordination Number Council, which shepherds a variety of responsibilities, including the shepherding of global policy for coordination and also picking a representative from regions to the ICANN board. Next, please. So let's talk a little bit about how we're going to have to do things a bit differently. Normally, we'd be at a podium, all be sitting on the audience, we'd be enjoying tasty cookies provided. Unfortunately, this time you had to cook your own, but there was some great recipes provided. So hope you've all had a chance to try those. So we'll be using Zoom. I suspect many of you, this will not be your first Zoom call if you've been around for a bit, but it may be your first Zoom webinar, which is slightly different in a few respects. Next slide, please. So there is a chat that you can make use of. The chat is in this setting is to represent the hallways and such, so that you as the community can speak to each other, ask questions, and just get to know each other. Please note that everyone and all, just over 100 of you now, will see everything on that chat, and you're free to use that. But please note that is not on our official record. Next, please. So again, if you want to talk with all the attendees, please select that. If you'd like to ask a question of the staff, just check all panelists. That will go to a group behind the scenes that is running the meeting for us. Next, please. Just a few reminders, even though the chat, please always stay professional. Please try and keep on topic. In the middle of policies, the chat can get quite feverish. So if there are discussions that are off topic, it can be quite difficult to follow. And as always, we request that all attendees and any interactions, especially chat, follow the ARIN standards of behavior that can be located on our website. And I'd ask all of you to review it if possible. It's very important that we all treat each other with respect and professionalism in this regard. Next slide, please. So this meeting will have the equivalent of what we have for those of 10 person of the floor. And if you wish to speak on the floor, you have two ways. The first is to use the Q&A panel. So if you click on that, you will see the question box come up. You can then click the type in your question. Your question will be queued among other participants, and it will be read out loud by either myself or one of the staff assisting me at the appropriate time. Because this is a virtual meeting and it can take a little bit of time, feel free to ask questions anytime during a presentation, but note that in most cases, we will wait for the appropriate microphones to open for you to say that. Next, please. And if you would like to speak in the more traditional way, you can click the raise hand. That will be indicated to our staff. And when the microphones are open for, or the queues are open for people to speak, we will call on you one by one. You will be, just to note, you will be given an invitation when it is your turn to unmute. So please make sure that you do unmute so that you can be heard. And then you have the floor to make your statement or question as you want. Again, please, as always, being professional and following our standards. Next, please. So as the board chair, I will be moderating all discussions of policy. We ask that you limit your comments to germane comments to the proposal on the table. Please always, every time, even if you are a long-time member of this community, to clearly state your name and the affiliation that you're speaking on when you're recognized to speak, or please include that in the question and answer. That's very important because, as a reminder, this meeting is being webcast. This meeting is also, a transcript is being kept, and we just want to make sure that the record is complete. Moving on, to give you an idea of the our attendance breakdown, at least where we people indicated. So the bulk is always in the United States, but we have about 15 people from the Canadian region, 136 from the United States, 5 from the Caribbean, and 15 who are outside the region. Next, please. Slides are available on the website at the URL below. A transcript real time is available as well. And my apologies always to the transcribers. I will try and remember to slow down. And we are, of course, recording this event, and it will be also available for live streamers. So that's the process and procedure. So we're going to get kind of on the day. And the first thing we're going to do is do a bit of a giveaway. So we had a newcomer orientation by Zoom as well last week, which allowed people to see elected representatives, ARIN staff, and learn about ARIN. We are giving away a $100 Visa gift card. And the winner is, and he must be present to win, Richard Wagner. So I will now look to my internal here and say, do we know if Richard
is not on the call? So can you pick a number between 1 and 6? I'm sorry. Yes, 1 and 8. Or would you like Owen to do it?
I was going to say, I think I should pick a random. I'm just going to look a random participant here from the list. I'm going to pick Owen DeLong. Can we open Owen's mic?
Owen, can you pick a number between 1 and 8, please?
3.
Our winner is Nia Brown, and she is with us. So our winner today will be Nia Brown.
Congratulations, Nia. Okay, thank you very much for that. So moving on to our agenda. So we have 4 recommended draft proposals for consideration today, which will be in the format of the 2 days that we have here. Will be effectively start with proposals and then go to presentations. And then next week we will have our members meeting. So today we have the 3 proposals you see here before our first break, 2021, 2, and 3. Next slide, please. And yes, I understand I apparently might have a bad microphone. So during the first presentation, I will try and go figure that out. We'll have one presentation after the break, and then we will have a presentation on our grant program, registration and service department statistics, an update from Mark Costers on routing security and services update. And we will end the day as a group with an open microphone, which allows anyone to come and raise a topic of their choosing that's been discussed today, or perhaps a policy that they've thought of during that, bring that. So that will end the formal agenda. There will also be some breakout sessions after the formal sessions, and we'll talk about those a little bit later. So with that, I'm going to ask Chris Tassett to come up and present the first recommended draft policy, ARIN 2020-1.